All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to learn a lot about Duet AI for Google Workspace today. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to our webinar on how to supercharge your productivity with Duet AI for Google Workspace. So over the next 45 minutes, we're going to introduce Duet for Google Workspace and discuss its product features. You're going to get a live demo of Duet AI. We'll review Google's public product roadmap. We're also going to explain how to get started using Duet AI within your organization, and we're going to end the session with a Q&A with our presenters. Okay, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Haley Zapata. I'm your webinar host. I'm the Alliance Marketing Manager here at Promevo. Promevo is a premier Google partner that sells, service, and builds Google products. We are 100% Google focused, and we specialize in Chrome OS, Google Workspace, Google Cloud, and our own proprietary workspace management tool, gPanel. So on to the best part, our presenters. I'd like to introduce today John Pettit, our CTO and CIO at Promevo, and Mark, our system support engineer here at Promevo as well. He will be the one doing our live demo. All right, Mark, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, Haley. Once again, my name is Mark, and I'm with Promevo's support team. Today, I'll be introducing Duet AI. I'll be providing a demonstration and I'm going to help answer any questions you might have. So Duet AI for Google Workspace is a generative AI, meaning it's a large language model that can generate high quality texts, images, and other content based on the data that it's trained on. Duet AI is integrated with Gmail, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Meet, and Google Meet. Duet AI includes a variety of features that fit into 4 categories to help your team be more productive. The first is the ability to unleash your writing potential. You can use Duet AI to avoid writer's block. You would simply need to type the topic that you'd like to write about, into the box, and it will instantly generate a draft. You'll have the ability to further refine and proofread this draft as needed. Next, Duet AI will help you paint your ideas into reality. You'll be able to create unique and compelling visuals in Google Slides for Google Slides presentations, generate stunning graphics and photos of things that never existed before. This will help to reduce the manual, time-consuming, and often expensive design process. With Duet AI for Google Sheets, you will have the ability to master your data. You simply need to describe what you're trying to accomplish, and Sheets will automatically generate a table to track any activity. It will automatically classify the data, which will free you up to focus on more important work. In Google Meets, Duet AI can be used to connect your team more effectively. Duet AI has controls that will help you improve image, sound, and lighting quality. You'll have the ability to translate in real-time captions into other languages, generate unique and interesting backgrounds, and create a summary with action items that you can save to your drive. And that feature is coming soon. So to summarize, the benefits of Duet AI will give you the ability to save time, eliminate such hurdles as writer's block or lack of resources. It will improve communication with your team and with others. You'll reduce the need to search for relevant documentation, etc. And it will automate repetitive and manual tasks. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the demonstration of how to use Duet AI. Give me just a moment. Let me switch over here. Okay, in this demonstration, we will be following the fictional company that specializes in camping products. In this company, give me just a second here. Sorry about that. Okay. In this company, we'll be following a few different people. First of all, we'll be following a hiring manager. His name is Victor, and Victor is being tasked with the task of hiring a new marketing manager. So in this task, he can use Duet AI to assist with several of or to assist his to help make this process more efficient. The first thing he will want to do is create a job description for the marketing manager role. So typically, if you are creating a job description from scratch, you will have to either follow a template, build it out yourself, write it yourself. But in this case, when you open up Google Docs, you will see this Help Me Write button and the plus icon, the plus pencil icon. Clicking that will open up Duet AI, and in this box, you can start typing in the idea that you have, and it will create the rest. It will generate the rest of the information for that. If you're not sure what to write, if you have a little bit of writer's block, you can actually just pause for a second, and it will scroll through. It will scroll through here different examples of things that you can write, and it gives you just a way to help generate those ideas in your own head. And it also gives you a way to see the sort of sentence structure you can type into the chat box. It can be very simple or like a much longer prompt if you want. The more details you add, the more details you'll get on the response. In this particular example, I am going to type in, I guess I'll just paste in. I'd like to craft a job description for marketing manager role. Must have 2 years experience running nationwide campaigns. I'm going to go ahead and create that. And it will take a couple of moments to generate a response. And what you'll get is a unique response. You can view it and see if it's something you like. You can further refine it with this button down here. Well, first of all, you have this option to rate the suggestion, and this rating it thumbs up or thumbs down actually helps to train your AI and generate more or less of these sorts of responses. So that's one tool you have. You can further, after reading over the reply that it gives you, you can further refine it by pressing the refine button, and you have the ability to adjust the tone from formal to casual, summarize it, bulletize, elaborate, or shorten, or you can retry completely if you didn't like the way that was written. And you can just continue to do that until it's close to what it is that you had in mind. And here we go. It's been rewritten, and you can see here that it's different than the first response. It does have the elements that were asked of it here. Must have 2 years of experience. You can see here that, let's see, right here with two years of experience in national campaigns. You can up here. This is your original. This is your original prompt. You can continue to edit this and add more to it as ideas come to you. So in this case, I'm going to add must be willing to travel abroad. And once I update that, it's going to add that into this job description. And you can continue to do that, continue to build on it or to refine until you get it as close to perfect as possible. So you can read it over. Once you get it close to how you want it, you can go ahead and insert it into your document, and there it is. It's produced in your document. You can further refine this if you'd like to. You will obviously have to make some updates, different things here, like maybe you want a bachelor's degree in marketing and sales. So you can go ahead and put in any relevant information that might be missing, or take away information that might not be relevant to your company. You can also take different sections. If I were to highlight this section here, and you can see that when I highlight it, the icon appears where I can go ahead and edit it again. And so if I click that, I have once again the ability to adjust the tone. So maybe I want this to be more formal as the summary. So I'll go ahead and hit that, and it will formalize just that section that I've highlighted. I can further refine it if I want to, and if I'm happy with it, I can go ahead and replace it. So now you can see that I've gone ahead and made that more formal. I can continue to do that, formalize, summarize, bulletize, elaborate, shorten, and rephrase. Down here, this is the custom, so you can actually change it up completely. For example, you can make it into a poem, so you have basically unlimited options. You're not just limited to these up here, and anything you can think of. If you want to make it into a poem or a short story or anything like that, you are encouraged to basically play around with this and really customize it to your needs. So back to our hiring manager. Once he has generated the job description just as he likes it, he can go ahead and post this description. And we'll fast forward a little bit to the next steps. After he posts this job description, he can then use Duet AI and Google Sheets to help organize the information that he receives. So the information that he would receive in this case would be applications for this job description, and he will need to organize how he wants to address these applicants. We'll say there are 5 applicants that applied for this job. In this case, he can use Duet AI. When you open up your sheets and you have Duet AI, you will see this help me organize section on the right, this panel here. If it's closed, the button for it is over here on the left, help me organize, so that will pop it back open. And once again, you can see that it'll cycle through some ideas of what you can type in there. So things that you can put in there are, you can create lists, you can create tasks, you can create schedules, different types of reports, financial reports, any sorts of data that you will need to organize. In this case, I am going to just say, create an interview itinerary for 5 candidates for marketing manager position. The interview location can be remote or in person. So currently, I'm not sure if this is going to work. Oh, it might work. Let's see.
While that's generating, Mark, one of the questions we had from the group was whether or not Duet works with other languages other than English yet.
Currently, it only works in English. There is a section that we'll go to later in Google Meets where you can translate into another language. But for right now, the host language, I guess, would be in English only.
Okay, and I also believe that it's on their roadmap to do. I don't know if it's on the public roadmap yet, but it's stated as an intention for them to add support for other languages in the future.
Yes, I believe so. Thanks, John. Okay, so you can see here from my prompt, create an interview itinerary for 5 candidates. It's given me 5 candidates. If I wanted to, I could have added more details here, including the candidates' names, specific dates, times, and so forth. You can do it that way, or you can just give it sort of a broad direction, and it will put in these placeholder names, John Smith. Oops, I'm going to go ahead and insert that. John Smith, Jane Doe, etc. And it would be up to you to go in there and put in the actual candidates' names, but you can see that it's filled out the structure for you. It's filled out, it's given you the columns that you need, the dates, the times. You'll have to make adjustments there, of course. The interviewers, it's suggested that, so you can have people on your interviewing team here. And since we asked it to give us the option of the location being remote or in person, it's given us these drop downs where you can choose remote or in person. You can also continue to edit it to add more locations if you'd like. It's also given us additional things here. It's given us topics, which we didn't even ask for, and notes. So these are just additional suggestions that it can give you. And you can use them, you can ignore them, you can add to them, whatever you'd like. You can even add more columns. So you can see very quickly, it was able to generate all of this information and get you organized and get you on your way without you having to spend a lot of time or effort to really create this. So that's one way you can use it in Google Sheets to help you get organized. Continuing back to our example of our hiring manager, once Victor, our hiring manager, has come up with an itinerary to interview the applicants, the next thing he could do is, well, based on this itinerary, some of these applicants want to be interviewed remotely. And one great way to interview remotely is through Google Meets. And in Google Meets, Duet AI can be used. There's actually a few different ways Duet AI can be used. In this particular example, Duet AI can be used, just like I just said, to translate in real time using closed captions, and that's located down here, CC closed captions. You click on there and you can see that it's automatically translating what I say in real time into text. With Duet AI, you can choose this captions settings over to the right. It will open up your settings and you can move this slider over, this translated caption slider over, which will give you access to a number of different languages. So this is the current list of languages that you can translate to, but this will be expanded in time as we go forward. But currently, you have languages from many different regions of the world. I'll go ahead and put it on Spanish just so you can see that as I'm talking, it's now switched my text over to Spanish. And just so it's a little bit more visual, I'll actually switch it to something like Japanese so you can see that it's really changing the language quite drastically to a completely different system. So there you go. With Duet AI, you're able to communicate a lot more effectively with other people. In this way, when you communicate with somebody else from a different region of the world, not only can they see you, they can see your physical mannerisms, they can hear the tone of your voice, but now they can also read in real time what you're saying in their native language. So it just makes communication in every aspect much more appealing. So that would be how you can use it there. There's a couple of other examples, but I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to get back to this a little bit later, but that's the main thing I wanted to point out for that particular example. Going back to our hiring manager, Victor. So once he's conducted the interviews and he's made kind of a decision on who he would like to hire, who his team would like to hire, one thing he can do is use Duet AI in his in Gmail. One way to use it is to be able to craft responses easily and quickly. And in this case, he received a thank you letter from one of the applicants. Her name is Janet Allen. So this is how you can use Duet AI to craft a response. You would simply click on your the email that you're reading. She's written an email thanking him for the interview and listing a few things here that why she would be an ideal candidate for the role. So all you have to do is hit reply like you normally would. You will have the option down here to write a reply as normal, or you see down here that we have, once again, the Duet AI prompt, help me write. If you click on that, you can go ahead and ask it to write you a response to this email. And for example, I'm going to put, thank the candidate and notify them that they got the role. Give 3 reasons why we chose them. So I'm going to go ahead and create that. So it's going to search through the candidate's the person's email and look for reasons that match up with your request here. So this is what it gave us. We're thanking, so it's hitting everything that we asked for. It's thanking the candidate. It's informing them that they've been selected for the role, and it's giving 3 reasons why we chose them for the role, all based on their initial email here. If we wanted to change it up, we can actually recreate it. If we don't really like the wording of it, we can just hit recreate and it'll quickly create a new email. It's very similar because, of course, we didn't really give that much of a prompt here. We can always add to the prompt if we wanted to, and then also we can further refine this if we wanted to. This will give you that familiar tool set that we had before. We're able to formalize it, elaborate it, shorten it, or I'm feeling lucky, which is sort of a wild card. You don't really know what you're going to get there. But in this case, probably want it to be a little bit more formal. So I'll formalize it. I'll reread it. If it's close to what I like, that's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and insert that, but it's not yet sent until I hit send. You still have a chance to go ahead and make any corrections that you might want to make, or add anything that you'd like to add, and then you can go ahead and send that off. So that is one way that you can use Duet AI to make responses in emails. Next, we're actually going to fast forward to Janet Allen. So she received the position. She is now the marketing manager. And I'm going to continue to show you how she can use Duet AI to not only respond to messages like we did before, but actually to compose messages from scratch. So in order to do that, we're here in her mailbox. We're going to go ahead and just hit compose like you always do to compose a message. Oops. Compose there. I'm going to make this a little bit larger. Okay. And as you can see here, we have the Duet AI prompt, help me write. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And in this case, she's already the marketing manager. We're going to craft an email that she's going to be sending out to her marketing team, making a request. So I'm going to paste that in there. In this request, I'm asking it to send an email to the marketing team requesting 3 ideas about camping products for the upcoming campaign launch, and then offer 2 deadlines. So I'm going to go ahead and create that and see what it comes up with. Okay, so here's my original prompt up here. And it says, hi, marketing team, looking for 3 ideas for camping products to feature an upcoming campaign launch. And here's a couple of deadlines. If I like it, I can use it. I can recreate it. And once again, I can formalize, elaborate, shorten, or go for a wildcard down here. One thing I'd like to point out is that you can continue to add here. So I'm going to just, I'm going to add provide examples. So I'm going to update this. So it should include all the information I've asked for before. And also, additionally, I'd like to provide some examples of what I'm looking for. And you can see here that it has all my original elements, plus here are a few examples of products that would be a good fit. And it gave a few examples. It's generated these. You can look these over. These may or may not be relevant to your marketing campaign, but at least it gives you a starting point, and it can help you generate ideas for what you can include. And then just one more example here. I'll say, along with that, I'll say, provide the team with a positive incentive. So let me hit update. And so I have all my original elements, my 2 deadlines. Now it's changed my examples to these 5 different examples. So every time you run this, it's going to be a little bit different. And then it's also saying the winning team will receive a $100 gift card to their favorite outdoor store. So you can see how you can just keep on building it. It keeps changing and updating. Once you've gotten it sort of to the structure that you want, you would simply need to hit insert just like before. And just like before, it won't send automatically. In this case, you'll need to fill out the recipient, the subject, do a few finishing details, add in your signature, maybe change the deadline dates, so forth. Just personalize it a little bit. It's done basically like 95% of the work, and all you have to do is come in, clean it up, and then send it off, and you're good to go. So you can see here that it saves a lot of time and a lot of creative energy. Okay, so for the next example, our marketing manager, Janet, will be using, let me just toss this. We'll be using Google Meet. We'll jump back into Google Meet, and I'll show you some additional things that I wasn't able to cover before.
Hey, Mark, while you're starting up that Google Meet, one of the questions that came about captions was, do the users all get to select their own language? So are the captions set by the host or independently by each user for the language they prefer to see the captions in?
Oh, that's a great question. I believe, well, I haven't tested it, so let me test that out, and I'll have to get back to you on that with a more accurate answer. That is a great question. I'm not too sure at this point, so
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so for the next part of this this demonstration, I'm going to show you a few other things that you can do in Google Meet aside from the subtitled captions. In this example, we're going to be using Google Meet to adjust the controls for the image, audio, and lighting quality. That's located here in the More Options 3-dot icon, and then it would be in your settings. And just like before, the settings, we have audio and video. For the audio settings, we have the ability to enable noise cancellation and push to talk. So noise cancellation will just filter out any ambient sounds. Push to talk allows you to use your spacebar to unmute yourself. In the video settings, we have the ability to adjust video lighting, so it'll make it easier to see you against a bright background. I'll jump to framing real quick. Framing puts you at the center of the screen, and then now I'm going to go to Studio Look. Studio Look, it's kind of like a filter, but it's not a filter. It sharpens your features so that people can see you better, but the reason it's not like a filter is because with a regular filter, if you were to put an object in front of your face, you would see that the filter is like artifacting a little bit. In this case, the AI is actually rewriting everything in real time, so you won't see that. It's basically a more seamless type of like filter. So those are the settings you have there for audio and video quality. The other thing that you can do that's a very cool feature is the ability to create custom backgrounds, and that's under the Apply Visual Effects area. And you can see here under Apply Video Effects, we have some temporary holiday ones here that Google's offering. We have all of the regular backgrounds that they offer. And then here, generate a background. If you click on there, this is Duet AI giving you the ability to describe a background that you'd like to show and choose the type of style that you'd like to apply to that background. And it will generate it. It will generate a unique background for you. And let me just, since this is an outdoor company, here's one of the examples I've got for you. We'll do outdoor camping by a stream. We'll just do no style and see what it comes up with. It will create a background. So it's giving you a choice of 4 different backgrounds. You can choose one to see how it looks. If you like it, all you have to do is turn this off and it keeps it. And one thing about this is, let's go back to it. It keeps it down here in your backgrounds. So even when you leave the meet, when you come back, that background is saved. So that background is always yours for you to use. It also saves your audio and video settings as well, but that's one thing to note. You have the ability to keep those backgrounds there. And this example wasn't like too fantastical, so let me just create a new one that kind of shows off how the sort of things you could do. Let's just do like flying castle. Oops. Flying castle. We'll do let's see, like fantasy. We'll see how that looks.
Well, that's generating the answer to the question about the captioning. If the setting is turned on by each individual user. So if you have people across multiple languages, they can all adjust the captions and have it translated to them in their language on the fly.
Perfect. Thank you, John. So here's a look at this. Okay, so that's sort of what that looks like. So I'm gonna save that. That's kind of nice. So okay, so that would be a look at the background images. Speaking of images, our marketing manager can actually generate images not only here in Google Meets, but also, I'm gonna just end this call, also in Google Slides. So in Google Slides, you'll see that this this Create Images with Duet panel, once again, is on the right. If it's closed, you can access it by hitting this little icon, Create Images with Duet. So there it is. And once again, it's going to cycle through different ideas here. You can also see down here, it has some inspiration examples and the prompt used to create it. So in this case, a candle made out of cotton candy would generate something like that. You can see here that this example, they added in a lot of detail. An abstract image using different shades that shows the movement and flow of water on a face resembling Albert Einstein. So as you can see, you can you can be very complex with it, and it will produce an image close to what you're looking for. So in this example, I'm going to go ahead and just once again, I'll do outdoor products. Before I choose a style, I'll just hit create to show you what happens. After a few moments, it will generate, once again, a few different examples for you to choose from. Okay, you can see here we've got boots, a camping tent. You simply have to click on it, move it to where you want it. You can resize the image. Oops, resize the image, change things up. You can add them to different slides and so forth. One thing about the style, you have a number of different styles here. There's no style, which is just a random. We have photography, background, vector art, sketch, watercolor. These are little previews of what they might look like. Cyberpunk, and then I'm feeling lucky, which is you never know what you're going to get there. The one that's different is background. And for background, let me choose a background, and I'll show you how that works. Basically, instead of giving you a little image here, it will create a background image that when clicked on, it applies to the entire background of the slide. So if I wanted it on this slide, I can choose that. And this is a way for you to really easily, if you have a full slide deck, you can actually select multiple slides in the deck and just hit the background once. And it applies to every slide in that deck, giving you that consistent feel. And then you still have the option to go down here. These will all be saved. You can generate these as many times as you want to, and then you can click on there and you can add other visual elements in there. So really quickly, it saves you time. You don't have to be searching for copyright-free images. You don't have to do anything like that. You can quickly just generate your own images, and also you're not limited to images that are already produced. The only limitation you have is your ability to describe the image that you're looking for. So that's how Duet AI can help you save a lot of time, really, with these slides, because slides are great if there's words on it, but like even better when there's images, and a lot more visually appealing. One thing about these slides, if it's an image that these are all unique images. They're not images that are found anywhere else. And if you like an image, you can actually download it, and then you can always re-upload it to slides later. You can basically build your own image library based on ideas that you've described yourself. So basically, you're no longer tethered to like any image libraries out there. It's all just up to your imagination. So that's how you can use Duet AI with slides. Let's see here. I am actually going to jump back to Google Docs. There's one thing I did not show you here. Oops, kind of gave you a preview of that. So with Google Docs, previously we were showcasing how you can use Google Docs to generate a doc from nothing, basically generate your own doc. But if you wanted to pull in a doc or pull in an article, this is an article I found on Backpacker, just like a list of things you can do when you're camping. One thing you can do here is you can pull it into Google Docs. You can click on this Duet proofread this document, and it'll open up the side pane, and it will take you through these suggestions of things that you can make changes on, helping you proofread. Here are the filter suggestions. Clicking on the drop-down, you have spelling, grammar, wording, conciseness, sentence split, active voice. You can unselect them, only select certain ones that you're looking for, etc. When you see a suggestion, here there's a grammar suggestion, where should be where. If you just click on the box, it takes you directly to that section. So you can see there, it's highlighted for you. If you want to accept the suggestion, you would just hit the check mark here, or you can even just hit the word here. They both accept. And if you want to dismiss it, you would just hit the X here. So that's like an easy way for you to help you proofread articles that you pull in. And of course, once you make all of your once you accept or dismiss all of the suggestions here, you can once again go back in here. You can highlight the entire article or maybe just a portion of the article, and you'll just once again, you'll see the magic pencil icon here, and it will give you your same controls. You're able to formalize that section, make it more casual. If you wanted to summarize it, that section will be a lot more concise. And if I like the way that sounds, I can just go ahead and replace it. So now that section is much smaller. You can expand a section, bulletize it, and so forth. That is, oh, almost done. There is one more thing that we found that you can do with Google Sheets, and it is the ability to, let me just create a new sheet here. The ability to really go back and forth and use Duet AI in a couple of different ways. And for this example, I'm going to create a report. I'm going to ask it to, I'm just going to ask for a quarterly P&L report for tents, sleeping bags, backpacks, clothes, and accessories, and forecast expected sales for the next year. So I'm going to go ahead and create that and see what it gives me to organize this information that I've fed it. Okay, now it's not working. I apologize for this. Earlier today, we were having a problem with Sheets. I thought it was fixed temporarily, but or now it looks like it's not working again. Not to worry, Google is working on a fix for this, and it should be fixed today. And I think you saw earlier that it was working, but that's okay. I can actually jump over to this report here. It's not the same report, but the main part of what I wanted to show you was your ability to actually copy that part of the report. So this is in Sheets. You can then open up Docs. Let me create a new doc here. You'd be able to drop it right into Help Me Write and create that. It will go ahead and drop that whole table into here. I'll go ahead and insert that. And from here, you can summarize this. So you can turn your table basically into a paragraph, into words, so it's easier to understand. You can read it. You can go back and forth with this. So this is the summary it gave me out of that table, and it's bulletized it. I can elaborate it if I wanted to make it longer, but as you can see, this table, it's just giving me in words what the table is all about. And so that's just a really quick way to get your data from Word form to table form, just like a little shortcut that we found. So let's see, that concludes the live demonstration of what we can do with Docs right now. But that's currently what it can do. What we have coming up next is just a roadmap of what's in store for the future. So let me switch over really quickly. Okay, so Duet AI is brand new. Google will be continuously improving and adding to it in the coming days. So coming soon, we'll have the ability to generate a summary from relevant source documents. This would be Gmail and Drive. And from those source documents, it will give you the ability to automatically build a presentation in slides that will work hand in hand with the ability to create images in slides. So you'll have, both the best of both worlds, both your written part of the slides and the images. In Google Meets, you'll have the ability to capture notes, action items, and video snippets in real time. It's called Take Notes for Me. It's a new feature called Take Notes for Me. And it will send a summary to your attendees after the meeting. Next, in Gmail, it will be enhancing the Smart Reply feature to allow you to draft longer and more personalized replies with a single tap. In Chat, You have the ability to create custom no-code apps right in chat. You'll also be able to ask Duet AI questions from Google Chat. In App Sheets, you can use Duet AI to help you create apps based on your prompts. In Sheets, the Smart Fill feature will be enhanced with a feature called Turbo Fill, which will expand on Smart Fill's functionality by leveraging AI to assess the context of the data and help you classify it. And then finally, we have third-party integrations that are coming to platforms such as Salesforce. And in Salesforce, it'll allow you to use the Salesforce data to create customized slides and docs. And you'll also be able to bring in Google Meet summaries and context from Gmail and Google Calendar into Salesforce. All right, up next, John's going to be taking over and letting you know how you can get started.
All right, thanks, Mark. One thing I think is worth mentioning is that Duet AI for Workspace is just part of the overall story of AI for Google. There's also in progress Duet AI for GCP, which will give you similar powerful tools to summarize and generate and automate activities within the Cloud Console inside of Google. And then on the other front, there's the integrations for people who have their own use cases where they want to create Bard-like or ChatGPT-like tools for their own organization for their use cases, which can be done through Vertex AI or Gen AI App Builder. So there's other options for people who want to extend and provide more productivity enhancement for their organization. How to get started? So this is a question that comes up a lot, and I want to before I talk about specific steps with Promevo, as people look at generative AI in their organization or these tools for their employee base, a question that some people have is, how do I make sure that we have the right governance, and how do I get people set up to be successful with these tools? I think a first step for everyone is to make sure that you've looked at your acceptable use policies for your employees and set up an education program for them so that they know how to use generative AI tools responsibly, safely, and within your own policies within your organization. Think about integrating that into, your annual security training or education that you have for employees, because that'll also start coming up in terms of other people who are misusing generative AI out there for bad purposes. So getting your employees up to speed and educated is important. With any kind of transformation, I think it's important to identify the people who would be good influencers, who lean into innovation, who like to experiment with things, and get them to come up with use cases in your organization that'll help solve real problems, and then be able to explain to others how they can do the same. So find kind of your core group of people that you can get excited about the transformation and help them, help the rest of your organization transform. What Mark showed you is just the kind of the tip of the iceberg. It's the beginning of what's coming in terms of generative AI integration and day-to-day tools. So it's important, I think, for organizations to think about how do you get in front of it, how do you really understand it, and how do you start making your employees aware and educated on how to use it the best way possible. If you are interested to take some of those steps, you can reach out to your client success manager at Promevo, and if you're not sure who that is, you can reach out to any of us, and we're happy to connect you. We can get a personalized demo where we talk through your specific cases between Promevo and Google, and even show you some of the things that are in preview, some things that Mark talked about that are on the public roadmap but not yet released, and also potentially things that are under the private roadmap, which you can get under NDA, and give you a preview of where things are and where exactly they're coming up next. There is a trial period available. So, if you engage with us, we can get, some number of users set up for you. However, there doesn't seem to be a real cap on how many that is, but typically people will find a couple hundred users in their organization and say, I'd like to have them try it and get feedback and begin to do a innovation program, get their feedback, show them some use cases, and see what we learn from it, and see if it can really help increase productivity. So those are concrete first steps you can take. In terms of other questions that I saw pop up while we were in here. How do you decide who gets access? Start with a core group. Typically, I've seen people start with like a core IT group, make sure that they're familiar with it, that they've updated their policies, they've used it, and then extend to influencers and people that are excited about leveraging new technology, and then work together to identify where you find success. And then from there, you can decide, how far you go out in your organization. And it's really going to depend on your specific use cases and type of work that your organization's doing. And I'll stop there and hand it back to Haley.
All right. Thanks, guys. That was great. So how many of you pinged your boss already and asked for Duet AI? Because I know, I learned something new and cool. So thank you, Mark and John. That was fantastic. We're going to get to the Q&A soon. So if you have any last minute questions, please put them out. We also hope that you guys will check out our websites for more information. And we've also linked our latest blog on Duet AI and our one-pager. So you will get those links and to be able to check those out. On the right-hand side, you'll see our upcoming webinars. When we send out the follow-up email, it will contain links to those registrations and also the deck and the recording today. So that'll be great. So let's get to our questions. I know John answered a few. So let's see here. So John, this might be a question for you. How can you justify the financial cost if you go to your executives asking for Duet AI?
I think that's a great question. People always have budget concerns, right? This is additional cost on top of licensing. There's a couple ways I think that you can handle that. One, depending on where you are in your renewal cycle or your commitment with Google, adding on Duet licenses is always an additional negotiation, point for you to look at how you can leverage discounts and how you can bring that in so it's not so expensive. The other part of that is get your executives involved in a trial and show them the power of what they can do with the tool and get them excited about it so that they can also support it, right? Like with any digital transformation, which this is, getting people engaged that are influencers and sponsors, executive sponsors in your organization to support it as a great first step. Get them to lean into a trial period. If you have to, I've done things like naming digital transformation teams at orgs before when I've done this before. One of the places I had, we had the PEP squad, which is a engagement platform team, got them shirts, right? But engage your influencers, engage your executives, get them into the trial and show them, how this can help make your company more effective. If nothing else, you may learn something from the trial of Duet that sparks an interest in some other work project that would actually transform your business beyond it. Maybe you get interested in engaging with Promevo to build out something with Vertex. We've had a couple of cases where people were trying to, make their sales team more efficient and using Vertex to generate and summarize information from the web. We've had others who've looked at formatting, industry-specific content and generating it, but into a template form that they want. So there's lots of ways that AI can help that. If it's not specifically productivity tools, maybe there's a specific task that you want to make more, automated or faster for your employees. We can also engage on that front.
Okay, great. Mark, I think this is a question for you. I know you said you can take the text and make it formal or casual, but can it be trained to sound like your company? Every company has a voice. Can you train Duet AI to kind of have that voice?
Great question. Right now, it's a little bit limited to your ability to thumbs up and thumbs down. In that way, you can sort of train it, but there's not really a way right now to input it, say past essays or anything, or not essays, but past responses, and train it on those. Right now, it's limited to thumbs up and thumbs down, but that could change in the future.
Okay.
Another question that came through that I saw pop up was, can you license just a few users or do you have to do the entire org? And the answer is yes, you can license just the users in your org that you want to add this capability to, make them part of that group. So it can be, a smaller count in the beginning, and then you can always add on licenses as you see gains across, more people in your organization. One other question I had for Mark that I thought might be good for others is if I make a larger prompt, one that's more complex, and paste in a template or paste in an example communication, is it smart enough to use that to generate content? Can I say here's an example, generate something like this, but with these points? Will it go that far?
I haven't tested it to that extent, but from what I have tested it with, just being able to add additional questions to my current prompts, it seems like it would be able to do that. I just haven't pushed it to that level yet.
Okay, so that may also help for people who, you talked about learning from your existing kind of content. Like you may be able to push some content in as examples and still get out something that fits a tone or form. Like Haley, like here's an email I wrote before. Write something like this, right?
Yeah. Okay, this is probably going to be our last question. Is there going to be any integration into Google Admin, especially around reporting?
And I don't know, Mark. Have you seen anything on the roadmap for admin console integration?
Nothing on the roadmap. It's everything right now is limited to the Google services, the Google apps. The only thing I've seen in the admin console is the ability to basically turn on the licenses.
Okay.
So.
As a side note, one of the things that we've been looking at on the gPanel front is improving the reporting interface for management, and part of that embeds what we're looking at Looker. And so as you look forward to kind of next year, as gPanel starts rolling out that functionality, Looker has options in there that allow kind of questioning and summarizing data. So it may be a way that gives you that enhanced, powerful reporting on top of Google, plus whatever they add to the admin console, which I'm certain eventually it'll make its way in there as well.
Oh, great. I feel like it's ever evolving. So like there's always going to be a roadmap of like what's coming next, what's coming next. I mean, it's Duet AI, Gen AI. It's always growing and adding more features.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you, John and Mark, and thank you everyone for showing up today. We really appreciate it. Look out for the email. Any questions that were not answered will be answered in a blog follow-up, or someone will contact you directly. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Thanks, John. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you so much.